Hey everybody, welcome to Joyful Noise Learning. My name is Ashley, if we haven't met yet. Here, I like to talk about Charlotte Mason-inspired homeschool and biblically based curriculum and affordable resources. So I'm so glad you're watching today. Today, I'm gonna share books that you should buy your child or your kids for a kid who loves animals and dragons. Also, my good friend Leilani at Living with Eve invited myself and some other homeschool mamas to share our favorite books with you that we think you should get. So you're going to want to check out her channel. She's got some amazing homeschool content. And you're going to want to check out the playlist for some more ideas if you need some more list of books. But I'm so glad you're here. Let's just get straight into it. First one is Pax by Sarah Pennypacker. We got this for my daughter a few years ago at Christmas and she gobbled it up. I recommended for ages 10 to 13 maybe. Really good age group there. It's about a fox and a boy. Who doesn't love foxes and boys? But to go along with this, there is the other Pax book, Pax Journey Home. So if you've read this one or your kid has read this one, they might want to check out the sequel. We got her this one last Christmas, I believe. Yes, very cute. There's even some illustrations in the book. Great story. I'll be honest, I haven't read it, but my daughter loves these. So yes, really good books for kids who love animals. The other one that I picked up for my daughter is White Fang by Jack London. Let me say that again. White Fang by Jack London. This is the Usborne Illustrated Classic. No, Illustrated Originals. I thought this would be really cool. The pictures in here are just vibrant and they just make the story come to life. This is an old classic story with some older English language, but if you've got a kiddo who's interested in wolves especially, then they probably would love this book. It's from Usborne and you want to check that one out too. The next one I want to recommend is Toph's Way by Cynthia Voigt. And she's a great storyteller, Newbery medalist, and isn't that cute? The little squirrel. If you love stories about squirrels, or your kid does, then you'll definitely want to have this book. We got it from the library, but this is the second time my daughter's reading it, so it must be good. It's really cute about the squirrel who kind of wakes up after a snowstorm and doesn't know where his family is, and he's just kind of exploring the area, meeting all the other animals in the area, and still kind of looking for his family, wondering where they have gone. So really cute animal story that I recommend. Okay, the next one, you probably already have this one already, but if you don't have it yet, I recommend getting this one for a kiddo for Christmas. Someone who loves nature, animals. It's a great science companion or a nature study companion. They're fun to just have in the bathroom to just kind of thumb through and look at the beautiful images while you're in the bathroom. So it's got plants, geography, geology, rocks, animals, lots of really neat stuff in here. So this is just a fun one to have and to use with school too, but also for a child who just loves to learn about nature and animals. Okay, so if you have a kid who likes dragons, or if you've already read the Wing Feather Saga, I have a few recommendations for you. In my last video, if you want to check that out, where I say good books for the middle grades, so ages 8 to 12, I talk about the Wing Feather Saga. Our family has several editions of the books. We love Andrew Peterson and his writing and those stories. But we also have the Creaturepedia. So Pembroke's Creaturepedia, which is mentioned in the book. It's something that's referred to about all the different creatures that you're gonna see in Here We Are. This is an example of, it's written as a book as if you were reading this in the Wing Feather Saga. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a fun little book. It's not a story, it's like a reference book for mythical creatures. So if you have a child who's into mythical creatures or your family has loved the Wing Feather Saga, I recommend snagging this one and having this one at home. Okay, the other one is, so my husband does all these research on Andrew Peterson and what he puts out. So this is Wing Feather Tales. So once you've read through the story, all 4 books, you're like, oh, I want more. What else happens, or what happened before the story takes place? So this is 7 thrilling stories from the world of Here We Are, and it was edited by Andrew Peterson, but he doesn't write all the stories. He called on some of his favorite friends and authors to write more stories. There are several short stories in here that go along with the characters and, you know, kind of the mythology of Are and the Wing Feather Saga. There's even a graphic novel in the middle, short graphic novel about the Florid Sword, which my family loves, the Florid Sword. Some great illustrations from other authors. We're reading this currently as a family, probably about a third of the way through, but I definitely recommend this one as well. Continuing with the dragon theme and the wing feather theme, these are amazing. The Wing Feather Company, publishing company, the Rabbit Room, was birthed from the author of the Wing Feather series, but they produce other books by some other authors who want to produce good and beautiful content that is honoring to the Lord. So this is a graphic novel series. There's only 2 books out that we know of. We've been looking up to see if there's more, but we got this for my daughter for Christmas. This one a couple years ago, and this one just came out last year. They're coming out a lot slower than they would for a normal publishing company, but we are excited just for whenever the 3rd one comes out. But this is the Dragon Lord Saga by Johnny Jimison. Just fun characters, great illustrations, just a fun story about heroes and about peril and about dragons. And oh, I actually haven't read it. I haven't read it, but my daughter loves it. I should probably read it, huh? It's on my list. I'm gonna read this one next. Also, there's the 2nd book, volume 2, The River Fox. Oh, the first one is called Martin and Marco. The second one is The River Fox. And this one I think has a feminine heroine, or female heroine. That's what it's called, right? Protagonist, a female protagonist. More dragons, more peril, more adventure story in graphic novel form. So check these ones out. And another for a dragon lover. I can't remember where I found this. Did I look this up when I was looking online, or found somebody suggested it? But the Dragon Grammar book, if you want to get this one for your kiddo, this is by Diane May Robinson. It is hilarious. I enjoy just sitting down and reading it, but I kind of got it as like kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of a thing, where my daughter will learn about grammar and she'll enjoy reading it because it's about dragons. So basically it talks about, okay, what is a noun? And let's describe what a noun is. And then let me give you an example. And every example is with a dragon. So, or for a subject object of a sentence. A subject is the person, place, thing, or idea that is doing or being something. To find the subject of a sentence, ask who or what the verb is talking about. The dragon studies grammar. The dragon is the subject, etc. The object. The dragon studies grammar. The grammar is the object. The dragon gave her a book. The indirect object. So, as you can see, the dragon thinks he can fly. He believes he has wings. So, every example for the grammar parts of speech is with dragons, and it's hilarious and it's fun. And if you want to get it for school, great. Or you can get it as a Christmas gift for a kiddo who loves dragons. Okay, this one's a treat. This one's a big treat, and it's heavy. Oh, it's so good. I'm so glad we got this. My husband, I don't remember where he found out about it, but follows the illustrator Joe Sutphin on Instagram, and found out that he was remaking Little Pilgrim's Progress by Helen Taylor. So Helen Taylor remade the John Bunyan story Pilgrim's Progress into like a more children's friendly story. But then this guy, Joe, decided I'm gonna update it again and give some really neat illustrations. And it's where the characters are animals. So he has now made, you know, Little Pilgrim is a rabbit. And then all the other characters you run into on Christian's journey, or not Little Pilgrim, but Christian is a rabbit. And all the other characters that Christian runs into in the story are animals as well. But the real treat about this book is the illustrations. And the story, again, an amazing story. My kids ask my husband to read this all the time. Every night we read it until we finished the first part. There's 2 parts. There's Christian's journey and then Christiana's journey. Christiana. His wife, I think, goes on a journey after him. So we haven't read that part yet, and the kids are antsy to read that second part now. And the beautiful animals, and it really brings you into the story, and you just admire just this illustrator's amazing concepts that he has come up with. So beautiful, beautiful book. I recommend getting this one for your family. Okay, last but not least, I needed to bring up these guys. Oh my gosh, these are definitely worth buying and worth having and giving to somebody in your family or having just for your family as a whole. Janet and Jeff binge the Christian Heroes Then and Now. Let me get it all out correctly. These are the only two we have currently, George Mueller and Corrie ten Boom, and we read them over the last few years, and I cannot wait to get more. My kids and I really enjoy these stories, and just how these stories of these men and women of God just come alive, and seeing what God has called them to, seeing that they're not perfect. Yes, they're heroes, they're Christian heroes, but they are not perfect. They have lots of flaws and everything, but which is amazing to see how the Lord uses them in spite of their flaws, and how he gets so much glory from their lives and what they go through. So, and it's also just eye-opening to lives that are different from our own, especially in a more open, free country. And it's just nice to learn about other people who've gone through hard things in their lives and still give God glory. And I really want my kids and I just to grasp that and to think, okay, when we come into hard times, what are we going to be doing? How are we going to give glory to the Lord? So yes, these are missionary stories, but they're very relatable and very eye-opening and just amazing. I cry every time I read these. So I can't wait to get more. I can't remember what I was going to get next. I can't remember. I need to do more research on what's coming next. But these are the two we have, and I recommend these two for sure. This was our first one. So good. Made me want to start an orphanage. And Corrie ten Boom, made me want to go tell everybody I forgive them. And oh man, it was just so good. So those are the books that I recommend for you to get and your kids who love animals or a family member. And I'm so glad you guys joined me today. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, check out my list from last year or from a few years ago for the 8 to 12-year-olds for books that you can get for them. And don't forget the playlist with Leilani and the other lovely channels that you're going to check out below. And this is right before Christmas I'm posting this, so I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and we'll see you in the next one. Go find his joy among the noise.